Hello, camp coordinators. My name is Danny Fierro. I'm one of your camp directors for this summer at Silver Spur. Super excited for you guys as you start to plan for camp. And the place to start is with registration. So, we wanted to create a video for you to walk you through registration so that you know how the process works. And also so that you have something to give to parents so that when they have questions, they have something to reference as well. So here we are. If you go to silverspur.com, you'll see a tab that says registration, and then you'll also see under the camp that you're going to, eventually you'll see a registration link there as well. And so when you come to the registration page, this is the first thing you're going to see. If your kid that you are getting registered for camp is a new kid and they have to get put in, they're going to come right over to this new user sign up section, get signed up, create an account, and it's going to immediately take them to the registration page. In this case, I've already set up a dummy account for us to take a look at, and so I'm just going to go ahead and hit login. So on this page, what you're going to see is you're going to see the different retreats that are available and camps that are available to you right now. And so in this case, we are looking at summer youth camp, and so we simply need to start an application. It's going to give you a warning here to tell you what browsers you should and shouldn't use. It's going to tell you probably better idea to do it on a computer rather than an iPad or a phone. So you're going to want to make sure to reiterate that to your parents as they get kids registered. So here I am right here. Now in this section you can add a parent. So you have your spouse in there or the other guardian that you would want to put on the registration. In this case, we're just going to add a child. So we're going to go ahead and put in John Doe. Let's see, John Doe's birthday is going to be 12/16/2005. He is male. And grade for this season, this is the grade that they're going into for that next school year. So for example, if you have a sixth grader right now that you are going to be sending to camp this summer, they would be a seventh grader. Now remember, this camp is for 7th through 12th grade. So that's how you get those younger sixth graders in. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. So now John Doe is in here and it's going to ask which camps that we want to send him to. You can see here that you have the option of going 7th through 12th grade, high country, or if they're a little bit younger, maybe a little less mature, then to be able to participate with the high schoolers, then you're going to be looking at transition zone, which is 6th through 8th grade. In this case, we're going to say John's a pretty mature kid, so we're just going to go ahead and select high country. So you'll see here that we've got a couple of options. If they are attending with a church group, then we're going to choose this option, which is $355. If it's a kid in your camp and maybe you're not sending a whole group, maybe you're just sending one or two kids and they're not going to have a cabin leader, their camp is going to have to provide one for you, then you would choose this option, and that's a little bit more expensive, extra $30 for that. In this case, we're thinking you've got a big group coming, we're going to add to the cart, and then we're going to choose the option of going with a church group. So all said and done, you'll see right over here that you've got the total cost for that student coming. We're going to hit continue. Now here's where we get to the fun stuff. And I will just tell you in advance that your parents will complain about this particular section about the website initially. The benefit for you is as you continue to come to Silver Spur, some of this stuff is going to carry over to the next camp. Not all of it, but quite a bit of it. So we're going to start with household forms. And it's going to show right here, parent or guardian. If there's a second or parent or guardian to enter, you can put them here. We're going to go ahead and put a phone number. Right, so we're good there. We're going to go ahead and put in an address. And if there's any other secondary household information, again, this is in the instance where you've got somebody else. Maybe it's a split custody situation, or you've got a second guardian that you have that you want to put in here for secondary information. This is where you would put it. Got to have at least one emergency contact. So we'll go ahead and put in a contact here. I'll just put my name again, and we'll put father 775. Okay, so now we're all set there. Household information. Oh, I forgot to put what type of phone this is. And the nice thing about Camp Brain is that it'll tell you straight away. It's not going to let you go on and miss anything. So we're good to go there. All right, and you'll see right here after we've done that form, it's going to say household information is completed. Next, we're going to go to church information. Now, this is really important for you as a camp coordinator. One of the great things that Silver Spur is doing is they're going to let you know when students register for the camp, but it's very important that they put what church that they are affiliated with so that they can get back to you. Okay, and so here we go. We're going to put in the Bridge Reno. We're going to put in Reno as a city. We're going to complete that. Now we're going to go to and you'll see again, it says completed right here. We're going to go to the health and liability waiver next. This one's the biggest one. So you've got here, does the participant have any allergies? We'll say no. Do they need a EpiPen? No. Does the participant have any dietary restrictions? If you hit yes, it's going to ask you to explain what those dietary restrictions are. This is very, very important for the kitchen at Silver Spur. We want to make sure that we have enough food for your kids when they are heading to camp. If they don't, they're going to be grumpy. You're going to have a rough time, and we don't want that at all. So, next page. This is talking about the things that prescriptions or over-the-counter medications that the nursing staff is able to administer to this particular child. So this has to do with prescriptions. We can hit yes, and it'll say what prescription it is, the dose, and how or what time of the day that it needs to get done. You can also add multiple medications there. In this case, we'll just say no. Same thing here with any medical treatments. If there's anything in particular that a student is working with that the staff needs to be aware of, you would put that information here. And then this is all of your typical camp over-the-counter stuff that students might encounter. This is actually, for me as a parent, I can tell you that this has been a pretty good form because it helps me to think about the conversations I need to have with my students and the things that they might need to pack. For example, oh yeah, I forgot insect repellent. I should probably remind my kids to bring that. And that's all going to be given to so most of these prescription or not over-the-counter drugs will probably have some on site. Very important note here, though. For any of these over-the-counter medications, you're going to have to turn those in just like you would with all of these prescription medications. All of those are going to have to be given to the nurse so that they can administer them properly. So, again, that's very, very important. You want to make sure that your students know that. We hit next. And again, this is a page that's going to probably be very tedious for your parents. They're going to have to go back, just let them know in advance. They're going to have to pull up the immunization records. So I'm just going to put in a date here. And really important for the staff at Silver Spur that you make sure that you have accurate dates in here. Make sure you take a look, and if they're not immunized, let them know. Generally, you have to have all of these for school anyway, so you probably are in pretty good shape unless you simply don't immunize. But you're going to want to make sure to put the proper dates in here and let them know what immunizations that your student has. From there, we're going to be looking at just some other general information. Inhaler, does the student have diabetes, anything else that they need to be aware of? Does the participant have any restrictions on activities? Say the kid has a sprained ankle or broken leg when they're going to camp. This is probably where you would want to let them know what that is, or if there's any other things that they have that are going to restrict them from any activity. Really important for them to know. Let's put none here. Is there anything you would like to discuss with the camp medical staff? This is if there's some particular, maybe some behavioral issues, maybe some issues with things that need a little bit more explanation in terms of, say, for example, you've got a child who's coming who might be autistic, and there's some particular ways to have conversations with them, then this is a good area to put that type of information. Family doctor, in case they need to get a hold of somebody for any particular medical reason. And then insurance, when you hit yes, it's going to ask you for that information so that in the instance that there's an issue that they might need to take a student to the hospital, then you are able to, they're able to do that. And I can tell you from personal experience as a camp coordinator in the past, I actually had this happen. So you're going to want to make sure to include that information. All right, next up. This is just liability waiver. You're going to go ahead and have them put in their name, check the box that they agree, and then you're going to complete the form. So now we can see all of these options are completed. We're good to go to move on to the next step, which is looking at how payment is going to be taken care of. Now, you can have, they can pay the total balance in advance, and they'll have the option to pay by credit card. They can pay just the deposit, pay by personal check that can be mailed to Silver Spur, or pay by church check. If you are going to be taking a group of students, and let's say, for example, they register themselves, but everybody's going to pay the church, and the church is going to cut a check, this is the option that you would choose. In this case, I'll just go ahead and do that. All right, this is where you get to review everything about the registration that you just submitted. Everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and submit application, and we are good to go. Once this goes through, you'll see this little thank you for choosing Silver Spur, and you can go back and review your registration details if you would like. You'll also be receiving an email that will tell you that you are registered. So there you go. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and call the camp office or just refer back to this video.